How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone had a great weekend, but we are already back after just one day off. Day 4 of Green Bay Packers training camp is here. And just some quick insight, this is the final day before the pads come on. I heard a couple rumors here and there that the pads will be coming on tomorrow for the first time this training camp. So then we'll start to see 1v1s and some more offensive and defensive line action. But nonetheless, we have some highlights from today's day 4 of Green Bay Packers training camp to react to and break down for you guys. If you happen to be tuning in for the first time, first off, welcome into the channel. Do me a favor, and if you end up enjoying this video, go down and click the subscribe button. Nearly 50% of my viewers are not subscribed, and you might not even realize that you aren't. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps support the channel a ton. Plus, you'll stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers this training camp, from training camp highlights to takeaways. I release 2 videos every single day of camp. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. And I first wanted to go over a clip from day 3 of training camp on Friday. When I did my highlight video on Friday, didn't have my hands on any 11v11 footage, but luckily we did get a clip from the most explosive play from that day of camp, a 49-yard touchdown, Jordan Love to Dontavian Wicks. Big shout out to Packer Nation today on Instagram. He's the one who posted this clip first. I'll put his Instagram down in the description below. Thankfully, we got a clip of this thing, and it's a beauty. It's Jordan Love stepping into the pocket, stepping up to the left side, and firing an absolute bomb across the middle of the field, a deep post to Dontavian Wicks over none other than a Xavier McKinney. I mean, the Dontavian Wicks stock is rising. You guys know this channel is a big Dontavian Wicks channel, and this is why. And I know it's just training camp. The pads have to come on, and he has to do this in an actual game, right? He has to explode like this in an actual game, but he has looked way more confident this season, and he's talked about it. He kind of got in his own head after, I think, 2 or 3 drops week 1 against the Eagles, and he didn't recover really well until later in the season. And man, if Dontavian Wicks can clean up the drop issues, like I say all the time, this guy can be an absolute threat for this offense. Another great thing you like to see here, I'll kind of pause it, is Lucas Van Ness on the left side. And sorry for the lower quality, it's just what we have available. Lucas Van Ness gets the initial pressure over Rasheed Walker and makes Jordan Love climb this pocket. The rest of the pocket is nice. Pass protection is decent there, and Jordan Love does a good job, stepping up and then creating more time to the left side, allowing his receiver to break open deep for a 49-yard touchdown. Love to see this, especially over someone like a Xavier McKinney, for Dontavian Wicks to be able to get that open, and Jordan Love to just put an absolute dime downfield. Absolutely beautiful throw to Tay Wicks here for the touchdown. Here's a clip of a new signing that the Packers signed yesterday, and that is running back Israel Abanikanda, who was a 5th-round draft selection a few years ago to the New York Jets out of the University of Pittsburgh. So the Packers adding another running back in the room for more competition for training camp and preseason. Also running back Amar Johnson, who I believe's been out with a hamstring injury, returned today. So the Packers with a fully healthy running back room, tons of competition. I liked Abanikanda coming out of Pittsburgh, so I like this. They claimed him from the 49ers off of waivers, so just another running back in the room. You see him running through the drill here. Do you guys think it's too soon that someone's already in the number 23 jersey? At least it's an offensive player and it's not a defensive back. But the Packers running back room is absolutely loaded. I would be shocked if Abanikanda even made the roster. This is just another camp body, some more competition in that room. He's only seen action in 6 games in his first 2 seasons. Didn't see any action last year, and I believe he had about 22 carries for 70 yards. So we'll see what he can do for the Packers here in this camp. Here's a clip of another new signing by the Green Bay Packers. You can see him in the back there, number 41. That's Garnet Hollis Jr., a cornerback who played for West Virginia this past season and was with Northwestern from 2020 to 2023, went undrafted in this past draft, signed with the Titans in May, and was waived 5 days later. So the Packers adding another running back and also another defensive back into this group. But it seems right now the Packers and Brian Gutekunst are very confident in their cornerbacks that they have on the roster. Guys like Kalen King are seemingly stepping up. You know, the back end depth of Kamal Haddon, Bo Melton making the full-time switch and actually getting reps with the first team at outside cornerback today. You heard that right. I just saw an update as I'm making this video that Bo Melton is getting reps with the first team at outside cornerback. Obviously just mixing him in, giving him that opportunity to get those reps against our starting wide receiver, I think is great for him. And we've seen some reps of him versus Matthew Golden and doing really well. So again, I think Bo Melton makes this roster as a cornerback, but the Packers adding another depth guy, another camp body at cornerback is never a bad thing. Here's a clip of the Packers offensive line going through warmups, and more importantly, you can see number 65, Aaron Banks, back on the practice field. We heard on Friday that he was out of practice with a back injury that he suffered on Thursday, and he would be day to day, and that's exactly what he was. He returned to practice today, but he didn't participate in team sessions, only through walkthroughs here, but he does have his helmet on, probably just easing him back into things with pads coming on tomorrow. We'll see if we see him tomorrow. The Packers are very cautious with their injuries, especially it being a back injury. I could totally see the Packers not throwing him into the mix with the pads on tomorrow, and again, just going through walkthroughs and maybe waiting a few days to really get him into the mix. Jordan Morgan took his place during team sessions at left guard, and also Savion Williams returned today from his concussion. So a very small amount of time missed by that concussion from Savion Williams. Obviously, you never know how long a concussion is going to keep someone out. I saw some comments saying, how is he already getting concussions when the pads aren't even on? Well, the ground is a big factor when it comes to concussions. A lot of concussions do happen when your head ends up hitting the ground. So it's all good. Savion Williams is back at practice today, and that's great to hear. Here's a clip of Jordan Love and Malik Willis throwing to both Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. I feel like we have a clip just like this, a similar clip every single day. Tucker Kraft running a shorter route. Luke Musgrave in the back of the end zone doing the toe tap in the back there. Pass from Jordan Love. We have Malik Willis throwing to Tucker Kraft here. I want to know, you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think Tucker Kraft's ceiling actually is this season? Like, what could he actually realistically get yardage wise? Do you think it's possible that Tucker Kraft could maybe crack 1,000 yards for this offense? Obviously, there's a lot of mouths to feed, and drafting 2 wide receivers, and you also have, you know, guys like Dobbs, Wicks, Reed, Musgrave even, and they throw the ball to Josh Jacobs a lot. Do you actually think that's possible? Let me know down in the comments below. Here's a clip of the interior defensive linemen going through a drill. We see Colby Wooden, then Baron Sorrell. So overall, all the defensive linemen getting in some work here. And then there is Nazir Stackhouse, number 93, taking place of TJ Slayton, who they let walk this offseason. Nazir Stackhouse is my pick for an undrafted free agent that will make this roster, as he is really the only nose tackle type of guy in terms of that defensive line that we have on the roster. Other guys can play it, like Warren Brinson can play it, Kenny Clark can play it, but really Nazir Stackhouse, as you see him right there, is the one guy that's that true nose tackle, gap filling, run stuffing defensive lineman. So I think he does make the roster. I'm excited for the pads to come on. We don't hear much of these defensive linemen until the pads come on, and we can actually watch with the pads on and then into preseason games and joint practices where they can actually, you know, show their talents and their skill. So really excited to see Nazir Stackhouse once the pads come on. And then finally, here's a clip of new Packers linebacker from this offseason, Isaiah Simmons. Man, he looks so athletic out there. He looks so fluid, flipping his hips, almost like he could be a defensive back, which obviously he played that for Clemson. He played all over the defense. But do you think there's a realistic opportunity for Isaiah Simmons to become a full-time starter for the Green Bay Packers? Matt LaFleur talked about how he thinks his best position is at strong side backer. And I think we could all agree our weak point in terms of our base linebackers is the strong side backer in Isaiah McDuffie. So another Isaiah could replace him with Isaiah Simmons. And if he can revitalize his career here under Jeff Hafley, which it seems like he's very happy that he's here in Green Bay and he loves the opportunity, and he was kind of talking about how he wasn't utilized correctly in New York. Sounds a lot like when we signed Devondre Campbell, and he was saying how he wasn't utilized too well in Arizona and Atlanta, and then we brought him here and he was an all-pro player. Can you imagine if Isaiah Simmons takes that similar course? Hopefully not the back end of Devondre Campbell's career, but at the early end, if he takes a similar course, and we have revitalized Isaiah Simmons, Edgerrin Cooper, and Quay Walker. I mean, that might be the most athletic, best trio of linebackers in the entire NFL and would help this defense so much. Do you guys believe that's an actual possibility, that Simmons revitalizes his career and just takes over that starting spot in base from Isaiah McDuffie? Let me know in the comments. So those are all the clips I have from today's Day 4 Green Bay Packers training camp. If I get any more 11v11 footage from today, be on the lookout over on X, and then also here on YouTube. I'll end up posting them, or I'll show you them tomorrow in tomorrow's video. But like I said, the pads are on tomorrow. That's the rumor. So there should be 1v1s, and I'm hoping I'm going to get a good amount of footage for 1v1. So definitely be on the lookout for that here on this channel. Again, click subscribe, turn on post notifications. That'll be the easiest way to not miss any of the content that does come out on this channel. But I really appreciate you guys coming by. I'll be releasing my takeaway video after this one, and it'll go over everything that happened during 11v11s, all the main takeaways and notes. So be on the lookout for that as well. But appreciate you guys coming by. I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.